Good morning. Good morning. So it's 2:46 a.m. I'm on my way to the gym right now. And the anxiety bug. You know, it's let me and this is gonna help somebody, especially on a Monday morning, because I'm gonna tell you that once you have stood up to a fear, it's not like anxiety goes away. It just comes in a different form. I remember when I was cold calling, and if anybody's ever picked up the phone and asked somebody if they wanted to buy or sell their house, you've probably heard some disrespectful things being said to you to the point where you would not want to pick up the phone and call them again. That's something that I've encountered. That's something that I have been confronted with. And I used to have this level of fear that used to make me want to go use the restroom every time before I had to make these calls. But I remember when I eventually got my mind past the point of what the client or the prospect was going to say to me and simply said, I'm going to run into more no's than yes. Keep working towards the no's so that you can get that yes. Eventually, making the call just became a part of process. And I no longer had fear or anxiety about that. My fear and anxiety eventually turned into something else. And I'm in the shower and I'm getting ready, and all these different thoughts about my uncle and how I'm going to take care of this matter and how I'm going to address that matter and how I'm going to address this. And I'm in the shower, and it seems like that's the place where it likes to come at me, maybe because that's the place where things are a little bit quieter. There's no real distraction. You're in there getting clean, and washing your body is a part of a routine that you've been doing since you were a child. So therefore the thought process is no longer there. It's not an evident situation. So these thoughts are coming to me. They're not about prospecting. They're not about making a phone call. They're not about paying a bill. They're not about money. They're about something else. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to arrange each thought into a category to figure out how I'm going to best address it. And then I start looking around and I'm like, you're in a shower. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. There's nothing to address. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to do. What are you going to do? You going to worry about it for the next couple hours? Wait for business hour to start coming around so that you can take your worry into the new day? What are you going to do? Step back. I was like, this ain't my problem. This isn't my issue. Why do I have to deal with this? Why do I have to make this my issue? And I simply said, pray. Now, I'm a person who believes that prayer it works. I believe that the power of prayer is strong enough to answer your problem. Wholeheartedly. I believe in it. And I just said I'm not going to deal with it. If I have to spend my time standing up in a shower worried about a problem, then it's clearly outside of my control. Take it in prayer. That's how I seen it. That's how I addressed it. That's how I looked at it. Take it in prayer. and I prayed it away. You got to remember something. Your mind is like the Alamo. It's the last stand. It's the place where the battle that means the most takes place. And if you don't protect that small piece of what's going on, you lose the battle. And isn't it funny how that little thing starts to try to get you before you can even get your day? Like, you haven't even had your coffee yet, and you already got thoughts about a bill, a relationship, an illness, car repair. I remember TD Jake says, I will not take on a relationship without conferring with you. He says, I will not take on a promotion without conferring with you. I will not do anything without conferring with you. And I believe that that's where you'll win the battle at. See, I'm not talking to people who don't have faith. I am talking to people who are faith-filled. So I'm giving you an instruction, is that before you engage in a thought, you take it to prayer. You bend your knee and you take it in prayer. Because before I'll spend 1 second wasting my time dealing with something that wants to just loop over and over and over and over and over, right? Because that's what it does. The problem doesn't miraculously, as you hear me on this, the problem does not miraculously resolve itself. It does not miraculously resolve itself because you keep running through the thought process. It just keeps looping over and over. It doesn't come to a solution. Let me be very clear. You don't come to a solution by looping over and over and over and over again. You get the solution when you stop looping. You start praying. And then you start believing, and then you start having faith, and then you're able to lean back on those faith and that belief, and you're able to make a sound decision because the answer is delivered to you because you've asked for one. The devil would love to tie your mind up with the same problem over and over again with no solution in sight, because he knows as long as he's got your mind thinking about the same problem or another problem, then your mind is no longer on God, no longer on faith, and then that battle is done. He won, move on to the next one. I thought it was funny when I heard it said this, and I started thinking about people in church. The devil loves when you get into church and you're hooping and you're hollering, you're screaming and you're running up and down the aisles, and then the moment you walk out of church, you forget everything that you heard and you back to talking about something carnal again. You just got delivered a great word, and you're in church. Before you even leave, you already talking about something. You ain't embracing what you heard. You talking about something else. You talking about something else of the world. How can you win? My job is not to save you. There's already been a savior. I'm just conveying a message that was given to me. You can do with it what you want. We all stand individually when that time comes, not collectively. I don't have to stand on trial for what you did. You don't have to stand on trial for what I did. But you're going to have to stand and be accountable. And prayer works. Because you can worry about the problem, it won't go away. And as much as I have faith and I'm filled, I am constantly under attack. But what I tried to tell you, and what I'm trying to tell you when I initially started this, was that you can beat the problem. Just don't expect that you're not going to have any more. Different levels, different devils. Just because you beat one situation doesn't mean you're not going to have another one. That's a part of elevation. That's a part of promotion. And if you don't want to be promoted, then just stay in the same spot, doing the same things. But when you start learning how to pray, you'll start getting promotion. Because you'll learn through your prayer how to deal with each problem that comes your way. Or how not to deal with it, because an answer will be delivered for that too. But nothing will come without prayer. Just the same looping over and over and over again.